Art of the Elements, Episode 3, Rutherfordium. Today is the first time that we're going to look at what is known as a synthetic element. That means that it's never been found in nature, can only be made in the lab. And by the lab in this case I mean huge nuclear reactors where these sort of atoms are made. In general it means that very few atoms of the element have ever been made, meaning we don't actually know that much about their chemical properties. But thanks to the periodic table, there's an extent to which we can extrapolate down from whichever group they're in. Luckily for me, a lot of these elements are named after people or places which I can talk about, rather than talking about their lack of chemical properties. Rutherfordium is named after the New Zealand physicist Ernest Rutherford. Interestingly, Rutherford is the only man to ever win a Nobel Prize in stamp collecting. Well, he didn't really win one in stamp collecting, but he did once say, all science is either physics or stamp collecting. But in 1908 he was awarded the Nobel Prize in chemistry, so something that he believed was stamp collecting. But he did do a lot for physics in his time and is generally considered to be the father of nuclear physics. He came up with fundamental concepts such as half-life, which is the time it takes you to have half as much of a radioactive material. For example, if you have Rutherfordium 267, which has a half-life of 1 hour and 18 minutes, if you start with 100 atoms of it, and then after an hour and 18 minutes you only have 50 atoms of Rutherfordium, and the other 50 atoms will have decayed into other atoms. He also came up with the Rutherford model of the atom, basically meaning that he came up with the idea that all the mass of an atom is stored in the centre of the nucleus, and he also discovered the proton, the positively charged part of the nucleus, and determined that the electrons, the negatively charged parts of an atom, orbit around the nucleus. He also did a lot more, like distinguish between alpha radiation, which are basically helium nuclei, beta radiation, and gamma radiation. He's credited with being the first man to split the atom. He was also the teacher of many other famous physicists, and received the honours of both a knighthood and being buried in Westminster Abbey, near some of the UK's greatest ever scientists, such as Isaac Newton. Sorry for this episode being a bit shorter, but I actually did things during the week this time. But yes, I'm going to be keeping up with this 2 videos a week schedule, at least until the end of the summer. Might have to cut down to 1 when I go back to university. But you know, if you want to see more videos, subscribe up above or go back to the channel and there's another couple of videos for you there.